What's up, ladies and gents? It's KK Quads back with a double tap knife review. One's an EDC review of a knife that I was given, and the other one's a work knife review. I don't really carry it every day. I use it whenever I go to work and such of that nature. Um, First is a Smith & Wesson Extreme Ops matte black handle scale. I think that's I don't think that's G10. I think it's aluminum, but it's a fairly decent knife. Half serration, half flat, Tonto blade. Um, this was given to me by a friend of my mom's. He gave it to me a while back, and I've been using it ever since. As you can tell, I mean, it's got a little bit of wear right there and a little bit of wear on the handle and up here. But the knife itself is a fairly decent knife. It's got glass breaker and seatbelt cutter for just in case purposes. It's fairly sharp. I mean, as you can tell, I just barely touched the knife and it kind of scraped my finger. It's not bad. I'm not bleeding or anything, but the knife. If I could suggest any knife to anybody, it would be this one. And I know in the past I've said I suggest companies like Kershaw and Ozark Trails and Z Hunter. My personal suggestion: leave Z Hunter alone. They do not make worthwhile knives. I had a stiletto made by them, and that's what I didn't do a review on it because I went to open it one day and it just blew up in my hand. So I don't suggest them. They're crappy. They make very poorly made knives. But Smith & Wesson, for being about, I think, a 3 or 4 year old knife, this thing has taken some serious abuse. I mean, just everyday carry, busting out boxes, busting what I need to get open. It's been in the woods with me. I mean, this thing has been through some serious stuff, man. I mean, I wouldn't use the serrations to cut through like wood or anything because they're not exactly that sharp, but they're sharp. Man, they are sharp. But it's a good knife overall. As an overall knife, it's a fairly decent, I mean, just outstandingly beefy knife. It's amazing. But that's my EDC knife. This is my everyday carry. Everywhere I go, it goes. Now my work knife. Bought it for like $8 at Walmart. It's an Ozark Trails 3.5 inch, I think. That's blade. I think that's from point to end. Liner, or not liner lock, but frame lock. Wooden handle scales. Beefy pocket clip. I mean, I have seen this thing. I can put it in my pocket, and I've got a 2-year-old or 3-year-old sister and a year and a half old sister, and both of them have tried to take this knife out of my pocket, and they can't get it. Like, they've tried. It just doesn't work. But they're also little kids. I mean, even me trying to pull it out of my pocket, it's a challenge, but it's amazing because that means my sisters aren't going to be able to just walk up and yank it out of my pocket at any point in time. So, and I'm not going to lose it while I'm out working in the field. But it is a stiff knife. That's the only thing that I can say is a downside about it. It is a very stiff, very hard to just like flip open knife. Once you get it worked a little bit, it works perfectly. I've had this knife for a couple weeks now. I haven't really had time to do a review, like a actual full-on review of it. But what I can say about it right now is that for being about an $8 knife, I am fairly impressed with this. I mean, this thing is it's amazing. And closed, it's about from palm to first knuckle on my middle finger. So, I mean, it's a fairly decent sized knife. I mean, it's an open, it's from palm past the tip of my middle finger. So, I mean, it's a fairly good sized pocket knife. It's a good knife. It's suggested. If you want a good knife that's a budget knife, right there. Ozark Trails, 3.5 inch, 746, I think is what I paid for it. But that was before taxes. I think it was like 801 after taxes. It's a fairly, I mean, it's a very, very good knife. It's just, I mean, cuts through just about anything, really. I haven't really done a torture test on it yet, but I promise you that when the day comes that I do a torture test on this knife, you guys will be the first ones to see it. I will post it on YouTube. It'll be on my Facebook page, Wiley Alexander Scott, I should say. It'll be all over Facebook. So check it out, and let me know what you guys want to see next in the comments below. Let me know what you want, if you want me to do anything with this Extreme Ops, or if you want me to do anything with this Ozark Trails. My knife collection is kind of slimmed down because I had to sell off a lot of the stuff that I had whenever I started recording, because we moved back to Kentucky. But definitely let me know what you guys want to see. Thanks.